Hey everybody, welcome back to Lyrical Lemonade TV. I'm Sara Kolli and I'm joined by special guest Young Miko here today. Miko, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I know you've been to Chicago before. How's your trip been so far?
It's been great so far. It's pretty cold for me, but I've had a blast. Chicago is beautiful. The people are great. I was actually at a dope event this morning before coming down here, so I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Chicago?
I think the fashion, we were recently talking about that. They have a lot of great vintage shops, so my shopping game is crazy down here.
I kind of wanted to hop right in and learn more about you and how you got into music. And I wanted to ask, I'm curious to know about your family and your family's musical background. What role did your parents play in your music?
I think that growing up in Puerto Rico, everybody has a little bit of a musical background. I think it's in our blood since we're born. My parents, there wasn't a single day that didn't go by that I didn't wake up and there was music blasting around the house. Or on Sundays, it's a big thing where it's a cleaning day of the house and your mom will blast the radio or your aunt or something. So I think that's always been such a big part of me. And my grandma, she's a singer-songwriter as well. She used to play a lot of her own music on the piano. So it was I would always visit my grandma. She would always play something on the piano. She would write something on the spot. I had cousins that used to play guitar. So then I would take guitar classes since I was little. And so music has always been really there for me, really present. I was always the one that wanted to be at the front row at pep rallies or talent shows or things like that. And so I think it's just always been something that's been a part of who I am, especially growing up. So then when I'm older, it was kind of a no-brainer that music was what I wanted to do the most. And luckily, my parents have been really supporting since the first day. And I think they have great taste in music as well. I grew up listening to some great artists.
That's awesome that you were surrounded by music.
I was, yeah.
What do you remember the first time you ever performed?
Of course. The first time I performed was in a town called Mayagüez. It's the west coast of the island. It's where I grew up. And there were probably around 50 or 60 people there. But it was so lit. I had this one song. It was the first song I put out on SoundCloud. SoundCloud was popping back then. And it was a great platform for up-and-coming artists. And so I had this one song called Quiero. And it kind of did its thing back in Mayagüez, in that town I'm talking about. And we actually had a bunch of people show up, and we were pretty surprised. And yeah, this was something that is a core memory, definitely.
You just dropped this amazing single, WASSUP. I want to talk more about that. Your new single, it samples Lil Wayne's Lollipop. I want to talk about the creation of this single. How did that come about?
We were actually just goofing around in the studio. Something that I always try to do at the moment of creating a track or anything really is I try to look for a reaction to whoever's around me. Something that's memorable or to cause a spark in you. The moment we started to play around with the Lollipop sample, which was Mauro, he's my producer, he's my brother as well. There were people in the studio with us, and everybody just hyped up, and everybody started laughing. And then so I saw that reaction, and immediately it was I love Lil Wayne, I love Lollipop. Everybody in the room was piped up, so I was why not just do this?
Whose idea was it to use the Lollipop sample?
It was also, so Mauro does the Lollipop scale, and he did it as a joke. But then I was looking at him
this is fire?
Yeah, let's just do this. And so it was kind of both of us.
When you typically start writing a song, did the the beat or the sample come first and then the lyrics? How did that happen with this single?
It actually happens both ways. For this one example, the beat came first and the sample came first. But most of the time it's I don't really know how it's gonna go. I just try to go with the flow and see what happens that day, how I'm feeling. Because sometimes Mauro will come in with an idea he had written down and everything, or he'll come in with a beat, or I'll come in with yo, I've been listening to this and that lately. I kind of want to do something along these lines. I don't know. It depends. However we're feeling that day. Sometimes we get nothing done and we just listen to music and talk about what would be a nice sound for our next move or whatever. But especially Lollipop, it was the sample first, for WASSUP.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool hearing about your creative process. I mentioned that Lil Wayne sample. Have you had a chance to speak with him or make any music with him yet?
Well, I had an interview one time where I mentioned that Lil Wayne was one of my favorite rappers, and then he posted that clip on his story, and I freaked out because I love him. I've been listening to him since I can remember, and he's a legend, you know. So then he reposted it. I texted him, and he answered back. He was just a sweetheart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I noticed the Lil John cameo at the end.
True.
What was that, your idea to include him?
No, that was also Mauro's idea. Like, Mauro really put his cooking hand in this one. He started to imitate Lil John, actually, at the end of the track, and everybody was just, again, at that reaction that I'm looking for. We all laughed so hard, and then Mariana, who's our manager, was like, why don't we get the actual Lil John to say this? And then she reached out, both teams talked, and Lil John was a sweetheart to work with as well. He responded back like quite quickly. I think in 2 days passed, and we already had his vocals and everything.
Wow. So quick process.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I like that you keep mentioning this reaction. Like, when you make music, like, describe the perfect reaction you want your listeners to hear.
Oh, when, you know, people make that stank face.
Yeah.
People like, damn, or they laugh about something, and then you have to pause, and then he'll say the phrase or the bar that I said word for word.
Yeah.
Like, he'll learn it from the go.
Yeah.
That's specifically what I'm looking for the most at the moment of creating something.
That's definitely happened with this song.
Yeah.
That's definitely happened with this song.
I love that, man.
This is kind of a crazy thing to say, these comments on this video. They've been going crazy about your haircut. My favorite one, it's Miko with the short hair is going to send me to the psychiatrist. But I wanted to ask, like, what's the switch between the long hair and the short hair in the video?
That was also like a thing that just happened in the moment. I had my hair short for a while, and I didn't even honestly think I was gonna show it. I don't know. It was just mine. I don't really think about it. To me, it's just hair, you know?
Right.
But then we were making the video, and everybody was like, we should just do the short hair for this one take. And we were like, you know what? Hell yeah. So let's just do it. And you see, I honestly, like, I'm a firm believer that sometimes you can't plan something because life already has it written down for you. And they'll make sure you get the sign, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, well, that happened, and I definitely didn't expect that people were gonna, like, have that reaction specifically to the short hair. Like, I knew it was gonna impress people because I had never done something like that. I am known for, like, in my fandom for, like, playing with my hair and the color and hairstyles and everything, but, like, I think it was a drastic change now that I'm taking a step back and seeing people's reaction and everything. So I think it came out great. I was surprised. I'm happy about the fact that they like it. And the comments have just really been the cherry on top for me.
Yeah, I bet they're fun to look through.
They are. I think my comment section is honestly hilarious. I love to dive into the comments and interact with a few of them because they make my day. They make me laugh so much. My fans are the best. They know I love them.
What's the craziest hair that you've ever done?
Hair? Probably that. The short hair. Like,
Yeah.
I had always had my hair long. I had my hair short when I was, like, really young. I was probably 12 or 13. It was just, like, a thing I did. But I didn't ever think I was going to have it short again. Then I had, like, white hair, and the bleach brought its consequences. And so we just went with it. And whatever, I cut my hair, and then I ended up liking it as well. So.
And the fans loved it.
The fans.
They loved it. This is a question about the music video. Around that 1 minute mark, there's a snippet of another woman going crazy on TikTok. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who's behind this audio?
A friend of mine, actually. I love her so much. She's one of my best friends. It was so funny to get her into the studio and have her say that. She had to make the take a few times because she wasn't even able to finish the sentence because we would laugh so much. She was like, you need to leave the room. I can't do it with you in here. And yeah, she's one of my best friends, so shout out to her. You're the first person that's asked me this, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's funny in the video, you know, sometimes you can see, like, the statistics of which moment in the video is most replayed.
Yeah.
That one clip right there has everything's, like, down here, and then it just does this.
Oh, my gosh.
In that one moment, people are just, like, scrolling back. I need to watch this again.
They're doing back 10, back 10. Will you usually have your friends in the studio with you during your process?
Actually, no. It's just usually, like, Mauro and me, and we'll have Shot, too, because he's, like, usually recording the whole process. Or sometimes even Shot, he'll just set up a few cameras, and he'll walk out. Mari's also in the studio with us a lot. But she's usually, like, in her corner. She's just doing something on her phone. And then when she gets involved, she actually gets involved a lot, which is pretty cool. But there are rare moments where we'll have maybe a friend or two in the studio, but they're like from the same circle, so it's like not they're not strangers to me. And when that we were creating that one WASSUP song, well, there happened to be friends around us, and it was good because it was all because of their reaction that that song even got like started.
It's kind of with this song and its reception. I wanted to ask you, as an openly queer artist in like the Latin urban scene, how has your identity shaped your music, your message?
I think it's created the whole identity and the music. It's who I am. It's not all of who I am, you know. I'm a lot of things, but I think at first it was definitely something that caught people's attention the most, and then being able to see the love from the LGBTQI plus community is just so heartwarming and like so fulfilling, and I don't know, it's just heartwarming. Like I said, it gives me butterflies in my stomach, and I think it's such a pretty community, and to be able to see them like just accept me with open arms, it's been definitely important and crucial at the moment of being who I am.
I know you've mentioned your producer Mauro a lot. I wanted to ask, what's the best part about working with him? What's your chemistry like in the studio?
We have great chemistry. We've known each other for a bunch of years now. We've known each other since we were like 12 or 13. So that's why I mentioned like he's my brother. You know, like he knows me so well. Sometimes he'll bring a song in like written, like from the intro to the chorus and at least a verse idea, and if you didn't know Mauro wrote that, you'd think I did. Sometimes he'll write things for me that I wanted to say, I didn't know how, but he just knows me so well. And he's a really important opinion to me. Like whenever I do something, I write or record or even an outfit, like I'll be like, Mauro, what do you think of this? Like he's really important to me, and I couldn't imagine making music without him, honestly. I love making music regardless, but it'll always circle back to Mauro, and he's my favorite to work with ever. I love him so much.
When did you guys start working together? Was it when you were 12 or 13?
No, I don't remember my age. I was probably 22 or 21. We actually started I started recording and making music at the same time he started to produce. This was pandemic. And I always mention this because I find it wholesome. I vividly remember sitting down with him, first time I was ever gonna like record something, and he was gonna record something, and we both sat down and put YouTube on, and we were like, how to record. So that's pretty dope, you know, being able to still have him by my side when we both started like at the same time together, knowing absolutely nothing. He comes from an amazing musical background, so I was really leaning on him at the moment of like, where should we take this, or what do you think would be dope to mix with this and that? And I think we were a match made in heaven.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's beautiful. Kind of moving to talk about like other collaborators. Obviously, Central C is a good friend of ours here at Lyrical.
Shout out to him.
And you were recently featured on his last album. I wanted to ask, how did that collaboration come about?
That came about because of a friend of ours. His name is Rocha. I work with him a lot too. Shout out to him. We love him so much, and he had that track with Cinch, and then Central was like just looking for somebody in the Latin world, and Jota recommended me, and he had already heard of me, and he seemed to like it. And then when they showed me the track, I lost my shit. I don't know if I can cuss, but whatever, because I'm a big fan of his. And then we got to meet, and he's just the sweetest guy. He's so funny too. He's so talented. So we've actually started to build a friendship, and it was just an honor to be able to be on his project.
We talked about all your collaborators. Who's someone that you'd like to work with in the future?
You know, I've mentioned this a few times, but I don't care. Doja Cat is one of my dream collaborations. I think I'm a really big fan also of like the Anglo music world. It's been a big part of me growing up, so it's really cool to be here too, because like Lyrical Lemonade was definitely something important to me as well. I was like really tapped in when this whole 2016 17 era was going on, and Lyrical Lemonade was a big part of it. And so yeah, I've been tapped into this for a while now, and Doja is definitely one of my favorite artists. Oh, SZA too. Oh my goodness, that'd be great. I'd love that.
So you're toured like all over the world. What's like one of the most like memorable cities that you've been to?
Actually, every city is pretty memorable to me. I have like a bad memory span, but somehow I will remember shows. I'll remember cities I've been to and fans. But I think like Puerto Rico will always be the most memorable to me. Obviously, it's my home, you know. But there have been so many shows that have been crucial in my process and my stages as an artist. And whenever I think about those, just Puerto Rico comes to mind. I think Argentina and Chile were two of the biggest shows I did at first that really impressed me. It was one of the first times I sang outside of Puerto Rico, and it was Lollapalooza, and I had a really big crowd, and I had this track at the moment called Lisa that was doing really well. And I remember that was the first time listening to a crowd outside of Puerto Rico just like singing the way they were singing, and it was really impactful and definitely became like a core memory of mine as well. So I'll think about those three. And Mexico too. Mexico always goes insane.
Are those some of your favorite cities to like travel to as well?
Yeah. I also love touring in the U.S. Chicago has also actually been kind of impressive to me. I get a great crowd at Chicago. I don't know. I love the Miami crowd too. Latin America is always just... I don't know. I just love touring. I just love my shows. I love my fans. Anywhere I'll be able to see them, I'll just love it.
What's like your favorite thing about touring?
My favorite thing about touring is actually the fans. Like being able to spend time with them up close and personal. I know probably a lot of artists say this, but I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. Like I love my fans so much. They have no idea. Everything I do is thinking about them and how they would react or how if they would like it or not. So like touring for me, I enjoy my meet and greets. I enjoy like doing sound checks, and then we'll have some fans in, or we'll pop up at a club and just spend time with them. So yeah, also plus I love being on stage. I think it's one of my safe spaces, and I get to like be myself more than anywhere. And well, obviously it's like touring, it's also hard, you know, like it's hard on your body, on your mind. You'll miss your family, you'll miss your home, your pets. But like I'm lucky to have my friends around me since we started, so they make it feel like I'm home, you know, no matter where we are. So yeah, even though it's like a rough time when you're touring, I love touring.
What is like something that you do to keep your mind right, your body right when you're touring?
I always try to find like a balance. For this last tour specifically, I think we did really well at the time of like creating the agenda for the shows. We would do 3 shows in a row, and then 2 free days, and then we would do 2 shows and 1 free day. It's important to have those moments to yourself. And I started to like before when we were doing clubs, I wouldn't do shit to like take care of myself and I mean that by like I wouldn't do vocal warm-ups, or I'll be drinking a can of soda before a show, and that's not good for your vocal cords. Obviously you go learning as you go. So then for this tour, I had my vocal coach with me. I would drink my teas, a spoon of honey every day. That's like good for your vocal cords. And I would do my warm-ups. I would stretch. I had my gym every day going in. I would have meditation time to stretch time or friend time. I don't know. We would go to an arcade on a free day.
Yeah.
And like, I think that balance really made it my favorite tour at the moment.
What's your favorite vocal warm-up?
None. I hate vocal warm-ups. I hate vocal warm-ups, but I do feel the difference when I'm on stage, and they definitely give me confidence.
How long do they take to do?
It depends. Sometimes if we ran late for some reason, we'll do a 15-minute vocal warm-up or a 10-minute, but we've gone up to almost an hour.
Oh, what? Of you being like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
I know, but like if you have a 2-hour show, for example,
right,
you don't warm up for 10 minutes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Look at me. What am I saying? I know this one's for the fans. I know you said you love your fans.
I do.
What is the best fan interaction you've ever had?
I think whenever I recognize a face, it's crazy to me. That's beyond me, that you would spend your time and your money to travel and to see me again and again and like not get tired of me. That's crazy. My friend, I get tired of me. You know what I mean? So I do have these specific fans that I know their names, I know where they're from, their age, and they'll be everywhere. They'll bring my favorite candy or my favorite flower, and then they're awesome. Some of them haven't even asked me for pictures. They just want to talk to me, which is insane. I don't know. I think that's the best part of like having a fan. You know, they kind of become your friend at a certain point, And some of them will even have like a collection of pictures with me. You remember this one and this one, and they'll slide, and I'll be like, "You've been to here and there." Yeah, they're the best.
Those are your day ones.
Yes, 100%. Those are the ride or die fans. Those are the ones that are never gonna leave your side.
Have you ever seen yourself tattooed on anyone?
Yes, yes. Don't do that. That's crazy. I mean, do that if you want to, but like, I never know how to react because sometimes, look, it's your face. Oh my god, that's crazy.
This has been a crazy year for you.
Yeah.
What's the lesson that you've learned that's changed how you approach your career?
That balance we talked about this past year was crucial to me, and coming into 2025, it's been more present than ever. And I'm a person that likes to take their breaks and likes to recharge and reground. And I did my recharging and my regrounding for a bit, and now I just feel ready to like be here again, really present, and do and everything that I have to do possible for my projects and for my music and our art. And well, yeah, I think it's been the best that I've done this past year. That balance I'm talking about, because I would get so excited sometimes and just do a bunch of things together, and then I'd be like, why do I feel so tired? Right, you've had no rest, or you haven't seen your parents, or things like that. And I'm still learning, you know. I'm gonna continue to learn, so that's just what I'm trying to do right now. Like, be really in the moment, and be present the best that I can to my extent, you know. So at the moment of creating, I feel like, okay, I'm ready, I'm rested, I'm ready to give it my 110%, and I plan to continue doing that.
So just over a year ago, you released your last album. Looking back at it, reflecting, like, what does that body of work mean to you?
Oh my God, it means everything to me. That was such a personal project of mine, and I feel that specifically, like, my hardcore fans really got to meet a side of me that I had never like shared on media before, or it's a side of me that only my friends really like genuinely know. And I'm really proud of that project, of everyone on my team that made it happen. I love that tour so much. I still love performing those songs. I hope I get to perform them for a bunch of years. I hope that album just over the years gets even better, you know what I mean, like age like wine. And I listen to the album all the time. I loved it. It was so fun to create. I got to explore a lot of genres that I had always wanted to explore, and talk about a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. So it means the world to me and to us, to everyone. It was our first Grammy nomination as well, that project. So I don't know, we're pretty proud of it. We love it.
Do you have a favorite song of yours?
Okay. Wait, do you mean in that project, or like?
How about answer in that project, and then of all time?
I think in that project, Fuck TMC or Tres Tristes Tragos is probably our favorite tracks in the album. And then of all time, I think Pull Up is actually one of my favorite songs. It's like a song on the project I have called Trap Kitty, just because it was like so fun to create too. And I don't know, I really enjoy most of my songs, like all of them. So maybe even my favorite song hasn't even been created yet, you know?
I like
Who
that.
knows? Yeah.
Aside from music, I know you've dabbled into voice acting with the movie Sneaks. Are you interested in acting or pursuing other creative things beyond music?
Yes. I'd like to get involved in the fashion world as well. I went to Paris Fashion Week, and it was super fun. It was my first time. I did that movie Sneaks, and it was super fun having... We were on tour while we did it. We recorded on the tour bus.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super cool to have the director next to me in a Zoom call, and being able to see like the animation of the sneaker and be able to see her facial expressions to know what she was like feeling. And the director helped a lot too. Mauro recorded my vocals. It was super fun. That's something that was actually on my bucket list, and I hope I get to continue doing. And I want to be in movies as well, like acting. Yeah, it's a big dream of mine.
Do you have any experience with acting beforehand?
I think the closest I've ever gotten to doing something about acting was a video I did with Karol G. It was a song called Contio. I played like her love interest on the video. And so it was so cool. It was also a challenge, you know. I have to make the people believe I'm in love, or like, you know. And she's such a friend of mine, and I love her so much. So it was so fun, and it was a great first experience, a near thing acting. So I hope I get to do that a bunch. I loved it so much. The recording was like 2 days. It was the best 2 days. We had so much fun. I didn't want it to end.
That sounds super fun.
Yeah, it was super fun.
When it comes to fashion, what are you thinking along the lines of fashion? Like, you want to start your own brand?
Yeah, 100%. I get involved a lot in the merch we put out, and I've also designed a bunch of my merch actually, and I love to do that. I studied drawing in college, and I was a tattoo artist as well, and so I've designed a bunch of tattoos, and I don't know, at first I would do my cover arts, I would do my flyers for my shows.
Super cool.
Yeah, and I get involved as much as I can. And so I would definitely like to have like a brand of mine eventually, and I don't know, anything I can in the art world, I'll dabble in it.
It seems like you like art in all forms.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
It's such a big part of it. I was not good in class, you guys. Like math, science, like no.
Yeah.
But like art class, like I think I told this once. I remember being in, I think it was 2nd grade, and we had this homework where I had to draw my favorite animal.
Yeah.
I loved horses at the time.
Horse
I
girl.
don't know why. Yeah. Spirit was like my favorite movie. You guys remember
that's
Spirit?
a great movie. That's a great movie.
Come on, that's a great movie.
That's an amazing
So
movie.
then I remember I drew a horse, right? And then my teacher was like, she gave me a 0, and she was like, "You didn't draw this. Your mom did." Yep.
And look at her.
That's where
look
my
at you
villain
now.
origin story started.
And you became a tattoo artist. Speaking of tattoo artists, like your experience being one, that's super cool. What was your favorite style to tattoo?
I used to love traditional Japanese, like I don't know how to say this single needle, where the shading looks like it's dot work.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much. Anything black and gray, and maybe like a pop of color somewhere. And then like Greek mythology was also like one of my favorite styles of tattooing.
Do you remember your favorite tattoo you ever did?
I actually, the only sleeve I ever got to finish from like elbow to like fingertip was a complete Greek sleeve. And it had Athena on it. It had Icarus, like the fallen angel. He had like wings made of, they melted because he flew too near the sun. I thought the stories behind every piece I did was so interesting. I think that's been my favorite piece.
Aside from tattooing and all your other creative things going on, what are you working on musically right now?
I'm working on a lot of music right now. I'm always working on music, actually, no matter where I am, whether it be a voice note to record it on another time, or anytime we step foot in any city, we try to look to a studio, or we'll do something in the room. So I am working on music right now, and I'm really excited for everything that's going to come out this year. And so I hope you guys stay tuned, because I'm pretty hyped about what's coming, and I think it'll be really fun for the fans as well. It's been a while since we put out music like this. So yeah, I'm glad you guys liked WASSUP. There's more coming. So yeah, stay tuned. A lot of music. Yeah.
Where do you think you're going to see your sound evolving the next few years?
I don't know, but I think I like the fact of not knowing, because I try not to think about the future that much. I do like to plan beforehand certain things I want to do at certain moments, but I also do like doing spontaneous things and let myself be driven by that gut feeling and those butterflies you get in the stomach sometimes. So I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen in the next 5 years with my music, but I'm excited to know too. So I'll be staying tuned as well, and with myself.
This perfectly transitions into my final question I like to
go.
ask, but where do you see yourself in 5 years? What would you like to accomplish?
I want to see myself still finding balance, still learning, still surrounded by the same people that have always surrounded me. I hope my dog is still with me, and my parents, and just like that I'm able to keep making art and turning into a grown woman, and like, I don't know, falling in love with myself and with what I do in my surroundings. So yeah, because then if I do that, the rest will just come with it.
That's awesome.
Thank
you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.